Complement your healthy lifestyle and add value to your home with the addition of a steam bath or sauna. This episode of Pool Magazine Podcast is proudly sponsored by Steam Sauna Bath, America's leader in experiential bathing for over 50 years and your single source for all your steam shower and sauna needs. Get the best prices on the industry's leading products, locate a qualified installer, or get technical assistance. Go to steamsaunabath.com for more information.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast. Today I'm chatting with Mike Sage, Sales and Marketing VP for Bradford Products, a worldwide leader in stainless steel aquatics based in North Carolina. It's a pleasure to have you with us today on the show, Mike.
I appreciate you having me.
Hey, Mike, whether it's clear acrylic cantilevered pools like 60 stories up or a lazy river, a lagoon, luxury pools, a sports complex pool, you name it, Bradford's is kind of like everywhere you'll find high-end stainless steel pool vessels and spas and has been in business for decades. Can you give us a little bit of the backstory and the history behind Bradford Products and how the company first got started?
Yeah, sure can. So we've just started to have our third generation of the Broder family come into the business. It started as a family-owned business and continues to be to this day after 40 years. So patriarch of the family, Dale Broder Sr., started the company 40 years ago, 1982, in Connecticut. Was there for a short time and then moved it to New York. And a little bit of backstory on how that happened. Dale's was a stainless steel fabricator that worked in the aerospace and computer industries up in the Northeast, building custom enclosures and custom stainless steel fabrications. And while on vacation in the wine country of California, got to experience his first hot tub, and he and his wife loved it so much. When they came back home, he started to inquire about how he could get a hot tub for his own home, and had absolutely no luck finding one in the Northeast at the time. So, being kind of a industrious, resourceful guy, he decided he was going to build one himself in his stainless steel shop, and that's what he did. So, fabricated a stainless steel spa for his backyard, and over a period of weeks or months or years, friends and family began to comment on it and said, "Hey, I'd love to have one of those for myself." And so he started building stainless steel spas for acquaintances and friends and family, and the rest, they say, I guess, is history.
That's incredible. I mean, Bradford's a really well-respected family-owned business. I mean, how has that firm evolved and changed since they first started that company back in '82?
Yeah, I think we've certainly been around the carousel at least a couple of times over those 40 years. Bradford's certainly a good portion of their early years were spent servicing almost exclusively the residential market with the backyard spas, and through probably nothing more than a little bit of luck and some connections that had been made within the industry, started to venture into commercial pools, primarily for elevated applications, and that business quickly took off, and in short time far outpaced the residential side of the market. Within that time frame, there were ups and downs and recessions and all of that good stuff. So there was quite a bit of back and forth between focusing on the residential market, focusing on commercial markets. And that's kind of led us to where we are today, which is we have a very, very well established, very diversified business in both commercial pool and spa construction, as well as standard and custom residential.
Well, you've long been a leader and a leading manufacturer of stainless steel vessels, but you actually have 4 different verticals going on. You get the home, aquatic, FX, and lounge. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so those are our market or fancy names, so to speak, for the 4 main pillars of our business, our four main areas of focus. The backbone of our company and certainly the largest part of our business is the aquatic. And what that encompasses is primarily all of the custom and commercial elevated stainless steel pool and spas that we're, I think, probably most well known for. That's anything that goes on top of an apartment building or a Las Vegas pool deck, or just a number of other custom applications for swimming pools and spas around the world.
We're talking like 10,000 installations completed in 40 years, just to get a number on that, right?
That's correct. That's quite a few vessels out there. Our primary market is, of course, North America, but we have installations really all over the world. Yeah, so that's our primary business. Second and by far our fastest growing is the is the standard residential business. And that's a line of standard residential pools and spas. These are built in exactly the same fashion, but are based on several standard models. These are things that we can offer at a more competitive price to the marketplace and really appeal to a wider range of homeowners. That market, especially in the wake of all the COVID shutdowns and the pandemic, has really just exploded here over the last couple of years.
The residential comeback has been enormous the last 2 years.
For sure, it absolutely has.
Well, you've partnered on some really well-known, iconic projects, both in the U.S. and abroad. I mean, who do you collaborate with professionally?
We do a really good job of collaborating across the spectrum of players and organizations that are involved in any given project. No two projects are alike for us, certainly from design or scope or type of vessels that we're building. But I would also say they're unique in terms of who we're working with and who we're collaborating with, and the level of design and construction and installation that we're involved in through that process. We do end up working with all of the major parties involved in any aquatics process, and that could be aquatic designers, that could be architects and landscape architects, certainly the owners or the developers of that property, as well as the general contractors and various subcontractors that are involved as well. So each project is unique. Each installation is unique. And I think that's, again, it's what makes it fun, enjoyable, exciting to be able to work and collaborate with so many different individuals and organizations anytime we're supplying one of our vessels.
Well, what is the effects and the lounge side of the business handle? Can you talk to us a bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So under the FX umbrella, that's where we put all of our kind of specialty fabrications, and that typically encompasses the water features and fire features that we provide. And that can be anything from a simple fire table or cascading water feature in someone's backyard to extremely large scale reflecting ponds or water walls or water features in major commercial applications. Again, Bradford at its core, we are focused and experts in stainless steel fabrication. So we still retain that beyond just traditional aquatics, and we do quite a bit in some of these specialty fabrications. A lot of it's still associated with water. As I mentioned, we play on the other side as well, and in fabricating and supplying things like fire features as well.
Well, congratulations on that. And for celebrating your 40th anniversary and hitting that 10K mark, that puts you in kind of like a different strata, because you're not talking about your run-of-the-mill cookie cutters here. That's not what we're talking about. Bradford has been associated with some incredible projects, and I've seen some of the over-the-top luxury custom pools and commercial projects, and we're talking nothing less than world-class custom tailored pool spa experiences. I mean, how did Bradford become so synonymous as one of the worldwide leaders for stainless steel vessels?
Well, I think for an extremely long period of time, it maybe started off as somewhat of a novelty or a luxury, but certainly something that was never considered mainstream. And I would say for a good part of our history, that has held largely true. It's maybe only in the past few years that stainless steel aquatics have become to enjoy a wider range of acceptance, and people recognizing the benefits and the values of stainless steel aquatics, specifically in elevated applications. I think it was probably a combination of the unique values and certainly advantages of utilizing stainless steel, as well as a bit of the exotic nature and novelty of the stainless steel construction. There's just certainly things that we're capable of doing with stainless steel that I won't say are impossible, but certainly more than challenging to accomplish through traditional pool or spa building methods. And once people start to recognize that and see that, I think that's where the association to the really wild or the really crazy or the really challenging aquatic installations starts to take root.
Well, it's clear that Bradford is definitely one of the first names in the commercial sector. I mean, that residential market for you has also been kind of a cornerstone. Given the explosion of interest in improving the outdoor living area, I mean, what kind of growth has Bradford seen in that residential market over the past couple of years?
I would say we've certainly double-digit growth the last 2 or 3 years, in upwards of 40-50% each year over year on the residential side, and that's for a couple of reasons. One is certainly just the overall demand on the residential marketplace due to COVID and due to the explosion in the housing market for sure. But I think also the level of investment and the level of importance that homeowners are placing on outdoor spaces nowadays. The pool is not just a box filled with water that the kids can go jump into on the weekends. You know, pools and spas are now becoming the centerpiece and really truly a design element, a central design element of much larger scale backyard and outdoor living spaces.
What do you predict the market looks like moving forward into 2023 and 2024 for Bradford on that residential side?
Well, I can say looking into next year for sure, we certainly don't see any slowdown. We're seeing the slope of growth kind of maintain its current trajectory. I wish I had the crystal ball for beyond that to say, you know, what the market in general is going to do. But speaking specifically for Bradford and the type of clientele that we typically serve, I see no indications whatsoever of that. Certainly declining, maybe cooling off a little bit due to some general economic conditions, but the interest level and the expectation of the clients that we're talking to has certainly shifted, and it's moved in a very positive direction for Bradford. We're, I think, very optimistic and very bullish on the next 2 years.
Well, certainly the commercial side looks like it's beginning to come back now that the hospitality industry has begun to come back. What are your predictions there?
Yeah, again, a kind of another confluence of market conditions and everything else. And again, a lot of this goes back to the pandemic, but we're certainly seeing a release of a lot of projects and a lot of opportunities that were either shuttered or put on hold or delayed due to the pandemic and the cost of building and everything else. And I wouldn't say that I necessarily see historically more projects coming online right now. I would only say that there's definitely a conversion or a movement towards stainless steel aquatics in elevated applications. So for Bradford, I think, again, specifically, it's a very positive movement, because while there may not be historically more projects, we're converting more of them, and we're seeing more of them choose stainless steel over traditional construction methods.
Well, you guys have had your foot on the accelerator throughout. I mean, honestly, 2018, Eco Group joined forces with Bradford to bring stainless steel pools to Australia. It's clear you see potential in that market. How does the Australian market factor into Bradford's plans for future growth?
Well, we have kind of a unique relationship with Eco Group. They are a full license holder for us, so they actually perform and do all of their own work over there. They actually fabricate, design. The only thing that we do here in the States for our partners there is actually engineer the vessels. It doesn't really move the needle here in terms of the amount of steel that we're moving through our facility. But I think the greater net effect for us is the continued development and establishment of the Bradford brand, not just here in North America, but worldwide. That certainly, I think, is something that maybe not so much counting on Australia for huge volumes of stainless steel pools, but the effect that that could have elsewhere in the world and the doors that would open for us in other international markets.
Well, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is, as a leader in large scale commercial pools, you're no stranger to taking on over the top projects. I mean, I remember hearing about how Bradford was involved with the Sky Pool in London. And we were talking to Reynolds Polymer about their involvement with the acrylic portion of that pool. Can you tell us about Bradford's involvement with that project?
Certainly, I would have to say the most famous international pool that Bradford's ever been involved with. And it's certainly most well known for being the first and only of its kind, in that it's a completely clear acrylic bridge pool that spans 2 buildings, approximately 10 stories up in the air. So what gets a lot of the attention is all of that cool, clear acrylic, the visual and sensation of swimming 10 stories up. We worked with a really good partner of ours, Reynolds Polymer, who are the acrylic manufacturers for that project. We were brought in specifically because of the extremely challenging nature, the first time anybody had ever attempted to design or build anything even remotely like this. And all the parties involved agreed that we needed to bring in the most experienced, the best equipped, and certainly the most experienced organizations to help bring that design together. So what Bradford was responsible for was basically anchoring that large acrylic bridge pool to the two buildings. So on each one of the rooftops of those separate apartment buildings are two large stainless steel pools. And within those pools are extremely large, extremely strong, very extensive rebates. And those rebates are what hold that acrylic bridge pool in place. And then both of those two pools actually float on bearing plates. So that entire pool structure, the acrylic and the two stainless steel end pools, actually moves independently of the two buildings. So if there's any shift or wind load or seismic load that would cause either one of those buildings to move, the pool will actually maintain itself independently of the building movement.
That's incredible. I mean, and that's the one thing that came up in social media again. It's like, what about earthquakes? What about if the building moves? I mean, this stuff has all been planned on the engineering side.
Oh, absolutely. I can't think of anything that's experienced even a fraction of the engineering and attention and scrutiny that the Sky Pool did. It took many years, I think over 4 years, to bring that project to fruition. Simply because everyone knew what was at stake with that particular design, and yeah, we couldn't be more proud of it.
Well, that's why you guys take on the projects that other companies aren't prepared to take on, and that's consistently why these projects are a home run on social media. And one of the newer projects that's getting a lot of attention, a lot of buzz, is one that we'll be talking about today. It's the iconic Stadium Swim, a pool amphitheater located at the Circa Resort in Las Vegas. And this pool is all over social media. It has of high profile stories done about it. I was hoping that you could tell us a little bit about how Bradford was involved with that project.
Yeah, so that was again another really unique project. We've got a lot of experience in Las Vegas, working with most of the major resorts and casinos there, and we've installed just a tremendous number of pools and entire pool decks for most of the major players out there. Circa was unique for a couple of different reasons. Circa is located in the old downtown part of Las Vegas, so much tighter environment down there, and which in and of itself created some unique challenges in constructing that particular casino, and certainly once it came to the rooftop pool deck, also created some challenges. It's also the first of its kind in that the pool deck also doubles as a sports book. It has a massive wall of TVs that are broadcasting any number of sporting events, and the pools and spas on the pool deck basically act as the seating for those televisions. And I can tell you it's quite comfortable, having been on the deck in the middle of August in Las Vegas. There's no better place to sit than in a pool and enjoy a little TV. But that's certainly what captures everybody's attention are the massive screens there. It truly is a real unique design. There's 6 pools, and they are tiered. So the closer pools are set at a lower elevation, and then the further away that you get from the television screens, the higher up the pools go. So it is truly a stadium seating experience and layout.
What was involved with the planning, designing, and constructing of a vessel of this immense size and scope? I mean, basically, we're talking about 6 pools spread over 2 levels. There's 2 swim up bars, and there's this massive 143-foot jumbotron TV that's in there for all of your sports betting. I mean, if you're a sports nut, it's impossible not to take a trip to Vegas. But I mean, what's involved with planning something of that magnitude?
There was a number of factors that, ultimately why Bradford was chosen as the pool supplier there. I would say, first and foremost, by far, the primary reason was because of the actual orientation of the pool deck. Stadium pools sit directly above the gaming floor of the casino. And that is the heart and soul and money generator for that casino. So there had to be an absolute highest level and sense of security that these pools were not going to leak or eventually leak over time. So Bradford was chosen because of our ability to deliver a fully welded, fully guaranteed, watertight stainless steel pool that's going to be placed directly over the most critical part of that casino. So that was the first consideration. And then, of course, like so many other projects, as I mentioned before, there's some pretty tight environments down there, and we needed the ability to get these pools up to the pool deck in some pretty tight environments. So they needed an organization that had the ability to maximize the pool section sizes for transportation and craning and rigging, but still do it in a manner that was conducive to staying on construction schedules and fitting into some pretty tight spaces. And then with every construction project, time is money. And certainly there was a very tight schedule already in place, and one that they were looking to accelerate even beyond that. And really the only way that they were going to accomplish that was doing that with prefabricated swimming pools. The timeline just didn't allow to build these out of any other material that would take exponentially longer to accomplish. So we hit all the big boxes for these guys, and when it came down to it, there really was no other choice in their mind but to work with Bradford.
Well, Circus certainly touts this as the largest sports betting experience in the world with a 3-story sports book. I mean, the stadium swim is kind of the crown jewel of that, and it marries the two elements together so that the action never stops, even when you're poolside. Do you think we'll see more resort-style pools like this from Bradford in the future?
I would never doubt that for a minute. Just when you think you've seen it all here, just wait a few minutes, and something wilder or crazier or just more unique is certainly sure to follow. And we're working on things now that in some way, shape, or form are gonna possibly even outdo the sky pool or the stadium pools. You never know. We're already working on some pretty exciting stuff right now, and I can't imagine that ever going away for us.
Well, we'll be doing a detailed profile of the stadium swim on Pool Magazine, Mike. And thanks so much for taking the time out today to chat with us today about this incredible project.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all the time we have today. To learn more about Stadium Swim and Bradford products, head on over to Pool Magazine or click the link in the podcast.
Complement your healthy lifestyle and add value to your home with the addition of a steam bath or sauna. This episode of Pool Magazine podcast is proudly sponsored by Steam Sauna Bath, America's leader in experiential bathing for over 50 years and your single source for all your steam shower and sauna needs. Get the best prices on the industry's leading products, locate a qualified installer, or get technical assistance. Go to steamsaunabath.com for more information.